Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Hang 10 with Quinn Kalani. I'm your intrepid host, and I want to thank you for stopping by here at 1 minute till midnight on the doomsday clock in the COVID era, in the shadow of the quarantine. What this is, beyond an extension of the Closers podcast, for me functions in two ways. The first way, Hang 10 functions as a creative outlet for myself, a new format. Most importantly, in a exhibitionist public setting. And two, what Hang 10 functions for me, and I think this is relatable to a lot of people, is a sort of freedom outlet. It's a sort of escapist mechanism, device for me. That used to be going to the movie theater damn near every weekend. That hasn't happened in the longest period of my life. I have been watching in the interim a shit ton of movies. Recently, I've been binge watching a lot of westerns, a lot of Sergio Leone flicks, some John Ford pictures, The Searchers, Stagecoach, Fistful of Dynamite, for a few dollars more, Shane, the classics. But I thought this could just alleviate the wet blanket that is the global pandemic. It could, essentially function as a sort of film for me. It could provide that sort of escapist quality, just to get out of my head for a little bit, basically. Get out of my head and into yours. I don't plan on this being long. 10 to 12 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time. What this is ideal for, and we're just talking, the infant stage, the infantile stage, the first few baby steps. 10 to 12 minutes. Something to listen to while doing the dishes, walking the dogs, chilling on the can, ignoring your significant other. Something. But for me, it's just, it's escapist ventilation system. I could bring up anything I want within reason. Pretty much whatever is on my mind. There hasn't been a lot on my mind lately, to be 100% honest with you. I've been actively trying to keep my mind devoid of things, but it's been hard, immensely, to not think about certain things. And it's almost disingenuous to have a podcast, and it's almost disingenuous on the very first episode to debut in a global pandemic in a time of a record civil unrest to not speak on such things, to at very least not mention them. Yesterday evening, I was going out for a stroll. Shout out to Laguna Creek. And I was listening to the president's rally that took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I suppose. I'm not sure that things are going to get... let me put it this way. They say the night is darkest before the dawn. I reckon that things may get worse before they get better. and I'm not sure if the group of people that was present for Donald Trump's rally, what are they representative of? Are they representative of a greater majority? I you know I wonder what it is. Um, Not only about the Republican Party, but also about the Democratic Party. But I wonder what is so appealing about individual A, individual B. Why do you rally behind this person? I think I think a lot of people dismiss, and I'm speaking, in reference to liberals dismissing conservatives, the past 4 years or so, because they voted for a guy and they can't wrap their mind around why. And it seems that without asking the question in a civil way, there's more or less degradation, name calling. I'm calling them deplorables, telling them if you voting for Donald Trump, then you ain't black. That kind of stuff. If I could sit down with an honest to God Trump rallier, he or she, I would ask them. I would just ask them questions. Why do you feel this way? What has happened to you to make you feel this way? And I feel like in those two questions, more people could find common ground than they could most places. There's the communication in this country is either at an all-time low or it's at an all-time high. Things are either so bad that the parents are just shouting at each other, just airing out all the dirty laundry, and divorce is right around the corner, or this is a airing of the grievances. This is the airings of the grievances portion of Festivus, a midsummer Festivus, and this is the ceremonial airings of the airing of the grievances. And I hope out of these airing of the grievances that people can come to a common ground, and that empathy can be achieved. I don't think it's my place to speak on issues of such onion layers like racism, police brutality. My experiences with these sort of things are rather slim. They're there, but they're rather slim in comparison to others, I would assume. So I'm hesitant to speak on those in greater depth than binary, what is right, what is wrong. But maybe that has to change. The conversation has to evolve. At some point, the American people have to stop yelling at each other, and they have to start listening to each other. And I think through that listening, through that commonality that is found, then the American people can build a true, real coalition that can usurp the American government, remodel it into being what it was intended to be, which was by the people, for the people. But I do think a revolution has to happen. I'm not calling for like a drastic revolution like Mad Max, chaos in the streets. Talking about a political revolution, inspired by the people, acted through the vote, which is the single greatest tool that we wield as Americans, is the vote. It is the final step in all forms of societal and political change. If you take anything from me, because this podcast could, quick. If you take anything from me, please know that voting isn't just your absolute privilege, it is your duty. And it's one that I know a lot of people in my generation, including myself, have fallen short of. I'm planning and pledging on being a better citizen, and I hope everyone else is. That being said, episode 1, Hang 10, 12 minutes in the bag. Achievement unlocked. 10 G's. Adios, everyone. See you next week.